Correctional Officer Ronald Albertson has excelled in several assignments and has proven himself as a team player in the operations section at Eastern Correctional Institution. On March 29 last year, Officer Albertson displayed outstanding job training skills and played a crucial role in helping an inmate who was choking on some food in the dining hall. The officer's quick action certainly showed the results of outstanding job training with the performance of the Heimlich maneuver in saving the choking inmate. Officer Albertson has served at Eastern Correctional since he joined the department in 1989. The Department of Correction is proud to recognize Officer Ronald Albertson as one of its 2011 Officers of the Year. Captain Roger Moose, a 22-year DOC veteran, has summoned his training, creativity, ingenuity, and commitment to safety to improve custody at Alexander Correctional Institution and elsewhere in the Division of Prisons. He has made cell extraction safer by developing a portable replica of a cell for training purposes. In addition to making training more realistic, the replica also has multiple video ports to enable better training feedback. The training cell has been used elsewhere in the Western region and by OSDT. Captain Moose also reduced the risks from control inmates who throw dangerous fluids through their cell door sally ports. Moose's ingenuity resulted in a portable trap door that greatly reduces officers' exposure to the danger from the fluids. Recognizing the importance of effective communications between officers and inmates, Captain Moose introduced custody staff to verbal judo. His leadership, encouragement, and modeling of tactical communications has better equipped staff for their duties. Captain Roger Moose makes the Department of Correction proud to name him a 2011 Officer of the Year. Sergeant Ishtroop Pannu is in his 7th year working at the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women in Raleigh. Sergeant Pannu oversees security of the construction site at the prison, where a new 150-bed medical and mental health center for female inmates is almost complete. He serves as a liaison between the construction crew and the prison staff and communicates effectively so that the prison perimeter and grounds remain secure, even in the midst of a $48 million multi-year construction project. Sergeant Pannu is also an enthusiastic recruiter for his facility and for the Division of Prisons. He participates in many job fairs where he talks to others about working at women's prison or for the Department of Correction. Pannu began his career as a correctional officer in 2004 and was promoted to sergeant in less than 4 years. The Department of Correction is proud to recognize Sergeant Ishtroop Pannu as a 2011 Officer of the Year. Correctional Officer Rosa Pope plays a key role in team development and keeping morale high at Odom Correctional Institution. She has been vital to the success of the mentoring program by providing positive feedback to staff and offering them follow-up assistance. Officer Pope organized a successful fundraiser for a staff member who suffered a house fire. The staff member has 2 children and they lost all their belongings in the fire. The officer then continued to assist the family in finding another residence. Officer Pope is the first to volunteer to work on her day off during staffing shortages, and she encourages others to help too. She has successfully spearheaded the state combined campaign for several years. The Department of Correction is proud to recognize Officer Rosa Pope as one of its 2011 Officers of the Year. Correctional Officer Edwin Simpson of Pannu Correctional Institution tirelessly supports the North Carolina Special Olympics through fundraising and by encouraging others to get involved. Working with the Law Enforcement Torch Run for 10 years, he has coordinated Pender's participation and has led and coordinated the Wilmington to Kenansville leg of the run. Simpson has been directly responsible for Pender raising almost $159,000. Pender Correctional Administrator Michael Bell wrote that Officer Simpson's passion for the North Carolina Special Olympics is obvious and infectious. For his dedication, Torch Run officials presented to Simpson the Bill Dalton Unsung Hero Memorial Award. Simpson credited his team of co-workers at Pender who joined him in supporting this very worthwhile cause. Simpson began his career as a correctional officer in 1993. He is a transportation officer whose primary role is maintaining safety and security when transporting inmates. With pride, the Department of Correction has named Officer Edwin Simpson a 2011 Officer of the Year. Professional and proficient performance of duty and more have made Jonathan Steadman a standout at Davidson Correctional Center. With a firm grasp of every possible duty assignment at Davidson, Steadman eagerly helps out in any needed capacity. In his 17 years at the prison, he has been acting officer in charge and shift supervisor numerous times. As an instructor, he commonly gives up a day off to help with training. Steadman is certified in urine sample drug testing and in breathalyzer operation. He is proficient in completing disciplinary packages. Officer Steadman is also full of helpful ideas for streamlining operations. Highly security conscious, Steadman is very adept in contraband searches. In a recent probe, he found tobacco and rolling supplies stashed in a hidden area in a desk. Through it all, Officer Steadman's interactions with other staff members and with inmates are always professional. In all situations, he has the safety of the public, the staff, and the inmates in mind. The Department of Correction is proud to have Correctional Officer Jonathan Steadman as a 2011 Officer of the Year. During the past 2 years, Officer Jason Bensavage has been responsible for taking some of Charlotte's most dangerous criminals off the streets. He has done it by working closely with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department's POST, a strategic team that targets high-risk offenders. Officer Bensavage, a probation officer since 2006, makes himself available 24/7 as the team focuses on surveillance and high-level supervision. Working with POST for the past 2 years, Bensavage has helped police officers on his scheduled days off and on holidays as they watch potential offenders' movements and seek absconders and hard-to-find suspects. All the while, Bensavage is always willing to help his community corrections co-workers and supervisors. On May 12 last year, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Chief Rodney Monroe presented the Chief's Excellence in Policing Award to Officer Bensavage for his exceptional problem-solving initiatives for the Priority Offender Strategy Team. The Department of Correction is proud to call Jason Bensavage a 2011 Officer of the Year. Bobby Dickerson has been Franklin County's Chief Probation Officer since 1997. He has been instrumental in helping the Division of Community Corrections explore and implement new processes and technologies. His unit helped pilot the use of computer-based self-reporting for offenders and piloted portions of the Division's new supervision strategies using evidence-based practices. Additionally, he serves on working groups that review the Division's forms, policies, and procedures. He also recently led a cadre of probation officers who deployed to Lee County to support local law enforcement after tornadoes devastated that community. Dickerson serves on the Franklin County Crime Task Force, the Franklin County Gang Assessment Committee, and the Criminal Justice Partnership Program Board for Vance, Warren, Granville, and Franklin counties. He is a frequent speaker to community groups about the probation system and its role in the community. The Department of Correction is proud to recognize Bobby Dickerson as one of its 2011 Officers of the Year. Jennifer Glover provides diverse and effective contributions to Wilmington Community Corrections. For the last year, she has been an essential part of the Gang Resistance and Intervention Teamwork Project. She spends countless hours analyzing and evaluating gang intelligence to help identify and validate community threat group offenders. The result is appropriate supervision and treatment of the offenders and a safer environment for everyone. As a mentor, Glover gives critical support to new officers. She explains supervision requirements, demonstrates all job functions, and reviews division policy and procedure. She introduces new staff to courthouse personnel and to proper courtroom etiquette. She orients them to departmental web applications. Her supervisor said Glover's leadership is essential in the development of new officers. Glover also is involved in the School Partnership Program, where she maintains direct relationships with teachers, school resource officers, guidance counselors, and administrators. Glover began her career as a correctional officer in 2006 before becoming a probation officer a year later. With pride, the Department of Correction named Jennifer Glover a 2011 Officer of the Year. Robin Griffin has demonstrated outstanding leadership in her office, in the Division of Community Corrections, and in her community. As a new Chief Probation Parole Officer last year, Griffin was challenged with filling 6 vacancies and then preparing the 6 new hires to be the best officers they could be. She met the challenge head-on, even though her office is split between 2 cities 14 miles apart. She often arrives at work early and stays late, and takes calls at night and on weekends. She takes a direct interest in her officers' work, helping them hook up house arrest monitors, riding with them on supervision calls, helping in searches, and with numerous other probation duties. Her mantra is, "We are going to work this out, give 100%, remain positive, and follow up." Griffin carried that attitude forward while serving on the committees that implemented pilot projects for community corrections evidence-based practices. She serves on community criminal justice boards and has spearheaded Iredell County's Martin Luther King Jr. School Supplies Project. With pride, the Department of Correction names Robin Griffin a 2011 Officer of the Year.